Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Miami. My name is Alex Kolaitzi, and I am the Director of Music here at UU. Welcome to everybody joining us on the live stream this morning. Please feel free to grab a candle or a chalice that you can light with us when we light the chalice a little later in our service. Our two hymns today, at the beginning and the end, are a little unknown to me and to some other people that I've spoken to. So we will have hymnals in the back if you'd like to read along. Joseph will also play the full melody of both of the hymns. I also have one thing to ask of the congregation today. So the choir is performing in the middle of our service, and I need some audience participation because in the middle of the song, I'm going to turn around and I would love for everyone to sing with me Silent Night. Is there anybody here that does not know Silent Night? Great, then I expect you to sing. Thank you very much. Our first hymn this morning is number 92, Mysterious Presence, Source of All. We will sing verses 1, 2, and 3. And as I said before, Joseph will play the full outline of the melody. Please feel free to stand, embody your spirit, and join in the singing. Mysterious presence, source of all, the world without, the soul within, thou fount of life, O hear our call, and pour thy living waters in. Thou breathest in the rushing wind, thy spirit stirs in leaf and flower, nor wilt thou from the willing mind withhold thy light and love and power. Thy hand unseen to accents clear awoke the psalmist's trembling lyre, and touched the lips of holy seer with flame from thine own altar fire.
Good morning. Wake everybody up this morning. Welcome to our multi-platform space here at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Miami, or as we affectionately call it, UU Miami. And as a member of the Unitarian Universalist Association, or UUA, we bring a liberal religious voice to the great city of Miami. I am Reverend Tom Capo, the minister here. My pronouns are he, him, and his. I am a white cis male with long curly hair, and I'm wearing my third of 4 Christmas ties this morning. And up here on the chancel with me is Joseph Toledo, our wonderful, amazing pianist, and Alex Kolaitzi, you already met, who's going to lead us in our hymns today and lead the choir as well. UU Miami wants to acknowledge that we gather on the traditional lands of the Takesta Seminole and Miccosukee people, and that we honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who stewarded it throughout generations. Now, I say this every week, and I really invite you to think about what this means to you and how it might impact how you live your life. Perhaps learn more about these people and how they lived in this land. UU Miami is a community of brave, curious, and compassionate thinkers and doers. We invite you to learn more about us. You can go to our Facebook page, Instagram, LinkedIn, or webpage, or you can call me or email me at minister@uumiami.org for more information. And if you've been coming for a while, please consider membership. It means something to us, and it means something, I think, to you as you learn more about how you are a co-owner of this particular congregation. I invite you now to say our covenant, and so when it comes up, there it is. This is our covenant, so if you'll join me. We are open, welcoming community who embodies respect, kindness, compassion, and curiosity. We foster a safe space that invites others to express their authentic, creative selves and unique ideas. We build relationships with one another by listening deeply with understanding and respect. We make a positive difference in our community using our combined time, talents, and treasure. We are committed to embracing learning, growth, and change. Thank you.
It is the custom in Unitarian Universalist congregations to begin our time together with the lighting of the chalice, a symbol of our religious tradition. These words were written by Unitarian Universalist Reverend Dr. Rebecca A. Savage. As people of faith and wonder, we welcome in the delight of mystery, the awe of unfolding adventures, the expansiveness of what it means to behold mystery as a gift to the imagination. Too often we relax into routines, find comfort in old habits, and give in to the confines of our life. In this time of worship together, may our hearts be nudged open to what may be. May our spirits be wrapped in curiosity to seek mystery and welcome her in. May our time together this day remind us to stay open, stay inquisitive of what we do not yet understand, and be inspired to stretch ourselves into new ways of being. Welcome, mystery. Welcome into our hearts and our time of worship together. We will now take this time together to sing the children and youth out to the RE classes. They're all in the back, and then someday I hope they'll come sit with us again. But for right now, please turn and sing if you know the song. May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
Most weeks, we open up a little time for people to share their joys or sorrows with their faith community. If you have a joy or sorrow you wish to share, please come forward and share it. Please say your name so that we know who you are and that we will enjoy, feel happy for your joy and walk with you in your sorrow or in your struggles. So if you'd like to come up, I think Bob has something for us.
Good morning, I'm Bob Jacober, and I would like to share joy. Good morning. On this lovely day, our beautiful rain got me on my way to enjoy our gathering. Greetings. and share the joy of friendship in tribal meetings. I come to hear others' words of wisdom and to help me bond with others, reaching to be for them a welcome teaching. I do my best within a modern trend to present joy to society and to share good deeds by you and me. And hope you smile at my punk poetry.
Good morning and happy holidays to all. I am Christopher John, a.k.a. C.J. Weber. Got a joy this morning. Earlier this past week, my mom's knee surgery on Tuesday went successfully, and she'll be spending the next couple of weeks at East Ridge's recovery wing, doing physical therapy, getting regular 3 meals a day, not having my stepfather bother her every 2 minutes, and generally getting literally back up on her feet over the course of the next 2 weeks. And so just wanted to share that joy this morning. Thank you.
I'm Sid Kasky, a long-time Breezeway Unitarian. Haven't been practicing for a while, and also a long-time Unitarian acquaintance. Remember, there's acquaintances, there's friends, and there's Unitarianism. This little presentation is going to be a surprise to my wife, but I just wanted to say I just read the Credo, and I'm going to encourage people to reach out during the next few weeks during this holiday season and try to speak to somebody that they find may be offensive in terms of who they support, and try to understand and open up their hearts and minds to a different point of view. Now, I know you're reading into something here, and I share the Unitarian worldview and the things that you talk about, but I think it's important to open up and discuss things with people that you find that you don't share your worldview with. That's it.
Oh, sorry.
We haven't been here, so my joy is that my beautiful partner graduated with her master's about a week ago, and she's right there.
Sharing joys is so wonderful. Anyway, for all those joys and sorrows expressed and those not expressed but very much with us, this community is blessed. Well, I have a story for you this morning. It is I Wonder by Annika Harris. Eva loves to look for the moon. It follows her from place to place, disappearing behind trees and mountains, and then appearing again someplace new. Look, Mama, there it is. The moon sure looks beautiful in the sky. How do you think it follows us, Eva? Eva thought about it, but she couldn't just figure it out. And her mother says, "Oh, it's okay, I don't know either." And Eva responded, "Well, when we don't know something, what do we do?" And her mother says, "Well, we get to wonder about it." She said, "I wonder about the moon and the earth, and I wonder if they're friends." Her mother smiles and says, "I like that idea." "But Mama, how does the moon really stay so close to us?" "Well, there's an invisible force called gravity that pulls all things in the universe together," Mother explains. "Gravity keeps the moon close to the earth, and it keeps the planets close to the sun, too. And they circle around like this." Eva understood a little bit better, but she starts to wonder, "Mom, where does gravity come from?" "I don't know, Eva. Nobody really knows for sure. And when no one knows the answer to something, it's called a mystery. A mystery is something for everyone to wonder about together." How fun, Eva thought, wondering about gravity together with all the people in the world. Eva watches the moon disappear behind the clouds as she walks, excited as to where it will appear next. And she turns to her mother and she says, "How many grains of sand are on the whole earth?" And Mama said, "I wonder about that too. There must be trillions and trillions of grains of sand, but nobody knows exactly how many." Eva tries to think about it, and she says, "It feels too big. I can't fit it into my imagination. It makes me feel dizzy, like I'm falling." And Mother says, I know what you mean. And I'm sure other people feel that way too." Eva walks down another path, looking for the moon, and a little orange butterfly appears. Then she notices there are butterflies everywhere. And she says, "Mama, where did all these butterflies come from?" Well, these butterflies are found flying around, have been flying around for a few days. They started out as little caterpillars, and before that they were eggs, and the eggs came from butterflies. That's the whole cycle. One thing ending, another beginning. Things are always changing. Can you think of other things that are always changing? Eva wonders, "Mama, what was here before all the butterflies and frogs and clouds, before everything?" "I don't know," answers her mother. "It's another mystery." I like trying to imagine what was here before the beginning of everything. What do you think was here, Eva? Eva smiled and said, "I don't know." She thinks for a long time. She says to her mother, "I wonder if there were feelings." As she walks home, Eva sees the moon again, glowing brightly above the roof of her house. And she says to Mom, "Let's go inside and look at the moon through the window." We live with some big mysteries, all of us. When we come upon one, we're given a little gift. Every mystery is something for us to wonder about together. What do you wonder about?
For those of you watching our service online, I invite you to take out your smartphone, open the camera app, and point it at the QR code that you see on your screen. Those of you in the sanctuary are welcome to do this as well. Or you can go to uumiami.org and click on the donate button. Please check if the donation is a part of your donation to the church or a one-time donation so we can allocate your funds properly. And those of you who are present in the sanctuary, there will also be a basket passed around by Santa himself that you can put your donation into. Today, you'll have the opportunity to not only donate to this congregation, but also to Chainless Change. Chainless Change serves those impacted by criminal justice involvement by offering basic resources, advocacy, peer support, mentorship, workforce development, housing, educational and vocational training, and scholarships. They are committed to reducing recidivism and strengthening the fabric of society through advocacy and support for individuals and families who are negatively impacted by the criminal justice system. This congregation is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope. Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place and the work we do in the world, for we are now the keepers of the dream.
Yes, it's lovely music we have here every time. Well, we're going to do a little meditation. A piece of that meditation was written by Unitarian Universalist Reverend Gordon B. McKeeman. So I invite you now into a time of meditation or prayer. Each of us has our own way of entering that space. You might take a deep breath. Let your muscles stretch a little bit and settle, and you might let your eyelids rest and breathe comfortably and easily. Let your hands rest comfortably in your lap, whatever feels easy for you, and just breathe normally and comfortably. Allow to rise within you a memory on the last time that you felt a connection to mystery, whatever that means to you. And however that memory is, just allow it to arise and settle. Perhaps you noticed it during a time of meditation, or perhaps during a walk in nature, perhaps while watching a sunrise or staring up at the stars, perhaps in the presence of someone you love, a baby, a spouse, a parent. What was it like to feel connected to mystery? As you felt connected, perhaps you wondered some things. Perhaps thoughts popped into your head like, how does one address mystery, a mystery? Does one address mystery cautiously, going cautiously to the end of our certainty, to the boundary of what we know, to the rim of uncertainty, to the perimeter of the unknown which surrounds us? Or perhaps in the presence of mystery, you felt a need to approach with reverence, with a sense of awe, a feeling of approaching the powerful elements whose lightning slashes the sky, whose persistence splits concrete with little green sprouts, whose miracles are present in every place and every moment. Or perhaps when mystery was present, you felt hopeful. Out of our need for a wholeness in our own lives, the reconciliation of mind and heart, the conjunction of reason and passion, the intersection of timelessness with time. Or perhaps with mystery, you felt quiet. For no words will explain the inarticulate or summon the presence that is always present, even in our absence. And perhaps you wondered, what would you say in the presence of mystery? Anything? Maybe things bubbled up within you, an anger, a hope, a fear, a joy, a request, a word that comes from the depth of your being. Or perhaps nothing. No complaint, no request, no thanksgiving, no praise, no blame, no pretense of knowing or not knowing. Perhaps it's just best to be in the presence of mystery. Unashamed, unadorned, unafraid. And then, at the end, just say, I am blessed.
As our musicians make their way up to the altar stage, here is a little preview of our special music today. Our special music today is the choir, and of course Joseph, and a guest musician who I will introduce in 1 second. Do you need some help, CJ? Our special music today is called Peace, Peace, arranged by Fred Bach, and it speaks of peace and goodwill on earth. You are asked to sing the hymn Silent Night, and let me show you a preview of that. Hey, Joseph, can I get an F, please? Silent Night. Can you try that with me, everybody? Ready? And Silent Night. Keep going. Holy night. Go for it. All is calm. All is bright. Okay, you got it. You got it. You got it. So when I look at you, that's the joie de vivre I expect from you all. Deal? We are joined today by a guest violinist from the Alhambra Orchestra who rehearses in our space. This is Jackie. Yeah. And we have worked pretty hard on this piece, so I hope you all enjoy and get ready for your debuts.
Thank you, choir, for leading us in that. You know, this time of year, This idea of mystery really comes into many people's hearts. So I wanted to take some time to explore mystery and reverence. Unitarian Universalists are not a chosen people. We are a choosing people. And because the ideas of mystery and reverence are complicated, each of us holds different beliefs because we are an encompassing piece of mystery. So I want to explore this idea that it's complicated for Unitarian Universalists, these ideas of mystery and reverence. And we're going to do a little bit of question-answer this morning, sort of like doing a belief survey. Some of y'all done belief surveys? Anybody done belief surveys? Okay. So we're going to try it this morning. And if you're comfortable, raise your hand as I ask these questions. Raise your hand if you are absolutely certain there is a God, goddess, divinity of any kind. Okay, good. Next one is, if you're fairly certain there's a God, goddess, God, or divinity of any kind. Fairly certain, okay. How about you're fairly certain there is not a God, goddess, or divinity of any kind? Okay. And you are absolutely certain there is no such thing as a God, goddess, divinity of any kind. Okay. How about if you don't know if there is such a thing as a God, goddess, divinity? Okay. Everybody can kind of fit into that one. Now, please raise your hand if you felt none of those questions spoke to you in any way, shape, or form. Okay. All right. In a Pew Research study done in 2014 of 35,000 Americans from 50 states of all religions, the researchers pulled out the information on Unitarian Universalists. And there were 164 UUs ranging from age 18 to 65, with 40% men and 60% women. Of the Unitarian Universalists, 20% said absolutely that they believe there is a God, goddess, something. 25% were fairly certain there was a God or goddess or a divine being. 20% were fairly certain there was no God, and 27% were absolutely certain there was no God. 0% didn't know if there was a God or not. Interestingly enough, 8% answered other. Whatever that means, I don't know. Anyway, so we'll try it one more time. This time we're going to talk about mystery. And again, please raise your hands if you're willing to. Please raise your hand if you had an experience that you would describe as mystery or wonder. Perhaps feeling a connection with something greater than yourself, perhaps divinity, Mother Earth, humanity, the universe, something like that. Okay? Now raise your hand if you found it difficult to put this experience into words. Okay? If you felt drawn to this experience, perhaps even wanting to embrace it for a little while. Okay? If you felt something changed within you after you had this experience. If you just let the wonder and mystery of the experience kind of be inside you without trying to define it. Okay? If you try to quantify it, to define the experience in some rational way. Sometimes one or the other. In the Pew study, the same one I just mentioned, 66% of the Unitarian Universalists in the study said they had experienced some sense of mystery or wonder at least once a week. And 7% said they'd never experienced any experience of mystery or wonder. So how is mystery or wonder important in a person's life? How is it important to you? Is it important for you to define it or not? Can you just let it be? I was really struck by Anaka Harris's book, I Wonder. She feels very passionate about wanting adults to let children experience mystery and wonder without pushing them to come to immediate conclusions about what they're experiencing. In the author's note, she writes this: I believe that one of the most important gifts we can give our children is the confidence to say, I don't know. It's the foundation from which we begin our investigation of the world. Asking questions, taking the necessary time to understand the answers, and searching for new answers when the ones we have don't seem to work. The feeling of not knowing is also the source of wonder and awe. What might change if we celebrate the feeling of awe and wonder in our children as the fountain for all learning? What possibilities might open up if we teach our children to say, I don't know, and help them understand the discoveries of not knowing can offer? What happens when we drop the role of all-knowing parent and instead talk with our children about the limits of our own knowledge? What insights might we gain when we, parent and child, wonder together? You know, I make time in my life to wonder. I think it's part of being a minister, but maybe it's part of being everything, being a person. And sometimes that mystery or wonder comes from the outside, from an experience or place that I'm at. But sometimes it bubbles up from within me. For instance, it is not uncommon to bubble up from within me wondering about the relationship between science and religion. So I look for opportunities to think about and discuss this relationship because it is, in a lot of ways, very mysterious to me. 7 years ago, I went to a presentation at the College of DuPage, a college in the suburbs of Chicago, to a presentation called Science and Religion. Is there really a conflict between them? It was sponsored by the Philosophy and Religious Studies Department. One of the presenters discussed the non-overlapping magisteria, or NOMA thesis. Have anybody heard that before? No? I didn't either. I was very curious. The thesis states that there should not be an overlap between the realms of science and religion. Science should stay in its lane to figure out the how of the universe, how it works, the factual character of the natural world, and the development of theories that coordinate and explain facts. And religion should stay in its own lane with human purposes, meanings, value, and the supernatural. Well, I don't know if you can guess this, but as the discussion progressed between the audience and the presenters, it became very evident that religion and science staying in their own lanes was difficult and extremely problematic. Religion often uses stories and metaphors to help people develop wisdom, ethics, morals. But sometimes religion tries to explain phenomena or history without facts to back up the explanations. And science has helped us understand so many things about how the universe works, created medicines, harnessed the Earth's elements, improving our lives in so many ways. But science is sometimes used to manipulate the physical world without regard for values or ethics. While religion and science are two of our very human responses to mystery, they are sometimes not as discreet as we might assume. When we find or experience a mystery, or it bubbles up from within us and we're prodded by it, we seek to formulate a response. That response can be a scientific exploration, a search for truth and meaning, or just letting that be within us. Which serves us best? A scientific method, a holy curiosity, or a humble awe and wonder? Do we have to choose one response over another? Or could it be that blending approaches might serve us best as we try to apprehend mystery? How dependent is your response on the situation, on your mood, on your needs, on your beliefs? Each of us has developed, or in the process of developing, our own truths about the universe. Some of us believe that existence is mostly about survival, reproduction, neurons, and brain structures. Some of us believe that existence is mostly about values, meaning, purpose, spirit. The majority of us operate using a philosophy that incorporates both science and religion, or if you prefer, spirituality. Can we resist the urge to quantify mystery, to reduce it to physical properties? I don't think we can. There is always that push within us. Who doesn't want to find the genesis of a mystery? Humans are curious creatures, and Unitarian Universalists, I think, especially so. We want to know the answers. We used to think atoms were the smallest piece of matter, and now we know there are quarks and leptons, and there are probably things that are even smaller, and we want to know. The thing is, we humans want to know why everything happens and what causes everything to happen. And for me, over time, I've come to understand the reality is that we can't know everything. But I also believe that we can't stop trying to understand as much as we can. And we live our lives with the limited amount of information we have today in our time and our lifespan, and given the facts, in this limited amount of time we have, we each make choices at different times in different ways to respond to mystery. As Annika Harris said, we live in a society where people are uncomfortable with not knowing. Children aren't necessarily taught to say, I don't know. And honestly, she goes on, I think it's rarely modeled for them. And for her, she feels like it robs them of the joy of curiosity. You know, as I was reading Annika's book, I thought about how I raised my kids. And I guess, you know, I didn't really take I don't know very well. You know, I usually would say something like, well, why not? Or, well, go find out. I wish I'd said something like, it's a mystery. Let's see what we can find out together. Or isn't that interesting? I don't know either. And followed them on that journey. We seek to know all the answers, I think we do, because it makes us feel safe. When we don't know an answer, it can produce some anxiety. And both religion and science seek to explain mystery, at least in part, to reduce our anxiety. Science has offered answers the causes of various illnesses and created medicines to reduce symptoms and cure those illnesses. Religion has offered its answers to mystery with giving us opportunities to live life with certain purpose and meaning. Think of a religion, for instance, like the Islamic 5 pillars of their faith. Faith, prayer, fasting, almsgiving, pilgrimage, giving those people, the Muslims, a way to find purpose, to ground them in meaning, so that they don't feel as anxious living in a world that's always changing. If you can accept those answers, you feel safer and less anxious. The beliefs or truths that make me feel less anxious might not make you feel less anxious. Heck, they might even make you feel more anxious. But I've come to a place in my life where I accept some level of anxiety, and it frees me to embrace letting mystery be. I don't have to know the answer to everything, even when prodded by mystery. I always have a choice to either look deeper at the mystery or accept it with humble awe or wonder. And when I decide to track down an answer, I try to keep myself open to the potential experience of awe and wonder, open to differences between myself and others, and open to possibility. As Unitarian Universalists, we are encouraged to approach mystery from different angles, open to new revelations, and with the willingness to consider other people's viewpoints of mystery. My respect for science coexists with my religious beliefs about mystery. With my Buddhist beliefs, I hold that the world is transient, and my spiritual practice is meditation. I also am humanist, who believe in to live meaningfully, I need to be in the here and now and make the world better in the here and now. And in my pantheist piece, I believe that there's divinity in all things, that the God, goddess, divinity is part of me and part of everything. And as my Unitarian Universalist part, I really embrace the sources and practice the principles. Choosing all of these might seem complicated, even paradoxical, too conflicted to fit into one person. But we are complex with mind, body, spirit. And when we experience or consider a mystery, there's always another question offered. Do I want to dissect the mystery to learn more about it? Or do I just want to learn more about myself by accepting the mystery as a springboard to wonderment? When we choose to learn more about ourselves, when mystery provokes us in that way, multiple possibilities open. A path of self-learning. Other questions are at the heart of that mystery. And as a both-and religion, we can examine the science or the spirituality of the mystery, let it be, or perhaps let the mystery prod us into a journey of self-discovery. At this time in my life, and everyone's in a different place, I find that the path within to be more fascinating and fulfilling when approached by mystery. But I ask you, how will you respond to mystery? However you respond, know that this congregation is a place where we can share our experiences of mystery and our responses to mystery. Here we will learn from one another, expanding the possibilities that mystery can offer. And here's hoping that there will never be a time when we know all the answers. So may it be.
Our closing hymn today is in the Gray Hymnal, number 343, A Fire Mist and a Planet. We will do verses 1 and 2. Again, Joseph will play the full melody for us. Please stand in body or spirit and join in the singing. A fire mist and a planet, a crystal and a cell, a starfish and a saurian, and caves where ancients dwelt. The sense of law and beauty, a face turned from the sod, some call it evolution, and others call it God. Haze on the far horizon, the infinite tender sky, the ripe rich tints of cornfields, and wild geese sailing high, and over high and lowland, the charm of goldenrod. Some people call it autumn, and others call it God.
Well, it's now time for us to do some gratitudes and announcements. You know, again, I can't say it enough. Thank you all. Just thank you all. You all are what make this congregation what it is. Whether you're professional staff like myself, or those up here with me, or our volunteer staff, you all make this congregation what it is. Our boards, our committees, our business managers, our child care workers, our yoga teachers, our communications director, everybody. I don't know if Derek's going to stick his hand out or not there. We'll wave out. The people that do all this live streaming. There he is. Okay. Okay. Teaching our children. You know, we're all part of this community, and we all make it what it is. So just thank you. Thank you very much. Look for your weekly email newsletter. If you don't have it, please let me know. I'll make sure that you get it. There's lunch. There's lunch for $5 donation. Unless it's your first time, just eat. Don't worry about it. We have to thank Javier and Tiffany for the lunch today. Woo! say hello to them when they open the doors. And after lunch, we have in room 3 a drum circle. And then if you finished drumming and you want to do something else, there's going to be the Musar group, which starts at 1 o'clock. We're exploring values. And today's value is the value of trust. Let me tell you, it's a tough one. Trust is a tough one. So we'll start that at 1 o'clock. In the tradition of helping others during the holidays, we're working with Chainless Change and Bridge to Hope. And you can put things under this tree. If you need a list, it's on the back of your order of service. We're going to collect them through the end of this month. So please bring it in, and we'll make sure that it gets there. And finally, don't forget about our winter solstice service, which is this Thursday, December 21st at 6:30 p.m. If you have not been, it is an amazing service, but be prepared. It will be dark, at least for most of the service. And on December 24th, which is next Sunday, we won't have a service during the day, but at night we'll have a Christmas Eve service at 6:30. Please come. It's an intergenerational service. Actually, the solstice and the Christmas Eve service are both intergenerational. All right. I have some closing words, and then there's lunch. May the love of truth guide you, the warmth of love hold you, the spirit of peace bless you, and may the mysteries of the universe always offer you awe and wonder. So may it be. Now I invite you to stand and greet one another. Go talk to some of the folks you don't know. Get to know each other and build this community. Joseph, you'll give us a little music out?